Hey guys, this is Tommy from the Ravens Creek study, and I wanted to make a video, kind of put this as the introduction to my series on replacement theology. It's been about a week, but I've been talking to a few people, and there's something that I need to say. Um, I've noticed on both sides of the issue, there are people who are very passionate about what they believe, and rightly so, and in being passionate, they have bypassed discernment and went straightway into prejudice. Because they believe either Israel's been replaced or Israel has not been replaced, they then are under the impression that if you oppose them, you're opposing God. This might be true partially, and understand that. It's not true for everyone. There's a place of discernment that we all need to wrestle with. There's a fundamental difference between the scholar who is getting paid to actually put material out there and debate these subjects. They're going to be held to a higher account than the educated layman who is educated but hasn't thoroughly divested themselves day and night over these subjects. The educated layman is educated most likely by the scholar, and so they're educated, but it's still not the same as the scholar themselves. With that being said, whether you are on replacement theology's side or against replacement theology, if you cannot look at your opponent and pray for them that God would shine light into their heart and that they will be saturated with love both for their opponent and also for Israel, whoever Israel might be, if you can't pray for them, either because you're not able to or because you're unwilling to, or both, there's a problem. I say some harsh statements in this series, and I know I do. Most of them are directed towards the scholar. But don't think that I haven't prayed for them. Don't think that I haven't shed tears for them. This is where my biggest aggravation is in replacement theology, is that so often I do talk to the people where when they say that they are supersessionists, replacement advocates, it comes from the Jews killed Jesus instead of the Bible shows that there would come a time where this thing called the church would replace Israel, or they show the progression in the New Testament that goes from Israel to spiritual Israel. They don't usually show that kind of an argument. It's almost always, invariably, the Jews killed Jesus. Therefore, I don't believe that the Jews killed Jesus. Therefore, I don't believe that God cares about Israel anymore. Natural Israel, that is. I have a problem with that. So, this is kind of where my frustration comes from. And I wanted to put it out there. You need to be able to discern between the ideas that someone speaks and the person themselves. If you think that the ideas and concepts that they are advocating are evil, you have to have the discernment. Are they speaking it because they are evil, or are they speaking it because they've been deceived? Do you see the fundamental difference? If it's because they've been deceived, you need to have compassion, and if you don't have compassion, you are not acting in the love of Jesus. If it's because they themselves, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks, and they're pouring out venom and hatred and bitterness, then yeah, you have every right to think there's something wrong with this, and to say to them, look, I have a problem with what you're saying because you're just pouring out a bunch of venom. It's all about the Jews killed Jesus. There's really no theological argument here. There's a system that you have to be understanding the Bible through. If that system is the Jews killed Jesus, therefore I hate them, That's not really a theological system. That is only a preconceived bias, a prejudice. And that's where the argument is. Is there a theological argument that you can post? The New Testament starts with Jesus coming to the Jews. The Jews crucified the Messiah. And then you see Jesus turns away from the Jews, and or the apostles turn away from the Jews and go to the Gentiles solely. Is that the case? Or if you don't want to say the Gentiles solely, the church solely. Do they go to the church solely? Is that their main focus now? If that's what you promote, that's a completely different argument than the Jews killed Jesus, therefore they don't deserve to be a part of Israel. It doesn't matter what they deserve and what they don't deserve. Do you see where the argument is here? And that's where I think that a lot of people need to understand. This is kind of like my preliminary video to the series now. If you cannot or will not pray for your opponent, you have no right debating this argument. This is not about, what do I even want to say? I don't want to advocate hatred between brothers. And that's what a lot of times I do find. So take it with a grain of salt. Be careful with what you say. You will be judged on account of what you say, every single idle word. Don't let your mouth or your tongue speak something that is venomous according to what he would call venomous, whether it's to the replacement theologian or to the Jew. You don't need that in your heart. So, thanks for listening. Until next time, take care. Grace and peace to you in Christ.